大家好，我是光启社的社长马绍阿基，欢迎您收看光启社在 YouTube 影音平台为您直播的罗马主场 Romereports。在10月份是玫瑰圣母月，同时也是特别的祈祷月。教宗方济各在10月份提出了新的祈祷意向。另外，在这一周，我们也要介绍有23名的波兰人，他们以行动回应教宗方济各发表的通谕“愿你受赞颂”，他们展开了史上第一次的电动车朝圣之旅。另外，我们看到教宗上周在圣伯多禄广场主持了世界移民以及难民日的弥撒。首先，我们就来看到在10月份的特别传教月，教宗方济各提出了新的祈祷意向，他要求大家必须谨记，教会使命的核心是祈祷。
Hoy es necesario un nuevo impulso en la actividad misionera de la Iglesia para afrontar el desafío de anunciar a Jesús muerto y resucitado. Llegar a las periferias, a los ambientes humanos, a los ambientes culturales y religiosos todavía ajenos al Evangelio. Y en esto consiste lo que llamamos missio ad gentes. Y recordar que el corazón de la misión de la Iglesia es la oración. Este mes misionero extraordinario, recemos para que el Espíritu Santo suscite una nueva primavera misionera para todos los bautizados y enviados por la Iglesia de Cristo.
« 在9月29号，有一群由多民族成员所组成的合唱团，他们在圣伯多禄广场同声齐唱《光荣颂》。他们共同参加了由教宗方济各主持的世界移民和难民日弥撒。教宗讲道时指出，我们不能对难民的贫穷悲剧漠不关心，不论新旧形式的贫穷。最后，教宗也为一座雕塑揭幕，这座雕塑的名字叫做“不知不觉款待了天使”。
Pope Francis celebrated Mass in St. Peter's Square to commemorate the World Day of Migrants and Refugees. The motto this year was, "It's not just about migrants." People from many cultures attended, representing immigrants and refugees from all around the world. One of the most moving gestures was as Gloria performed by a multi-ethnic choir. During his homily, the Pope said that we cannot remain indifferent to the tragedy of old and new forms of poverty that migration brings.
Non possiamo rimanere insensibili, con il cuore anestetizzato di fronte alla miseria di tanti innocenti. Non possiamo non piangere. Non possiamo non reagire.
Pope Francis condemned violence in the midst of the migration process and the actions of some developing countries that continue to be drained of their best natural and human resources for the benefit of a few privileged markets.
Le guerre interessano solo alcune regioni del mondo, ma le armi per farle vengono prodotte e vendute in altre regioni, le quali poi non vogliono farsi carico dei rifugiati prodotti da tali conflitti. Chi ne fa le spese sono sempre i piccoli, i poveri, i più vulnerabili.
To close the World Day of Migrants and Refugees, Pope Francis announced a symbolic gesture and went directly to the side of St. Peter's Square to reveal it. It is a statue with the name Angels Unawares. It represents 140 migrants from different cultures on a boat. This gesture reminds people that, as the motto of the day suggests, it is about much more than migrants.
有23名来自波兰的教友，他们以行动回应教宗方济各发表的通谕“愿你受赞颂”，展开了史上第一次的电动车朝圣之旅。这次朝圣团的主题是一起驱动变革 ，Driving Change Together。这趟旅程的重点，最后要向教宗致赠一部电动车。除了赠送电动车，他们还送给教宗联合国 COP24 最终文件的副本。这份文件提出可持续发展以及愿你受赞颂的实践方案。
A group of 23 Polish people embarked on the first ever electric car pilgrimage, taking on around 1,300 miles as a concrete response to Pope Francis's encyclical Laudato Si.
The pilgrimage is also the idea to awake the Christians to be responsible for our environmental, and like the Pope Francis said, the climate is the good of everybody, and we have to take care of everyone for our climate.
The theme of the 5-car entourage was driving change together. They stopped at major basilicas in various countries along the way, but the highlight of the trip was presenting one of the cars to Pope Francis.
Questa piccola macchina elettrica per lei.
43 countries of the world supporting electromobility.
The Minister of Poland's Energy and Environment knows this after he hosted the COP24 meeting in Poland in December. COP24 is the UN conference on climate change, and its goal is to work toward a greener planet. From the meeting, the Katowice rulebook was created, which Michał Kurtyka presented to Pope Francis at the end of August.
It's succeeded in creating new set of rules for the global climate policy after 2021. So we will replace the Kyoto Protocol with the rules based on Paris Agreement and Katowice Rulebook. And Katowice Rulebook is quite a heavy work, 100 pages of legal documents which were adopted by the global community. And I handed it to Pope, saying that we listened to his call in Laudato Si.
Thus, it only seemed fitting that at the end of the visit with the Holy Father, they gave him a copy of COP24's final document on sustainable development and implementation of Laudato Si.
Laudato Si. Laudato Si.
刚刚在新闻当中看到了 COP24， 什么是 COP24 呢？这是联合国每一年都会举办气候大会。全名是联合国气候变化纲要公约缔约国大会，而这个缔约国的会议 Conference of Parties， 英文的缩写就是 COP。从1995年开始的第一届缔约国会议就是 COP1， 去年第24届的会议 COP24 就是在波兰的工业城卡托维兹揭开序幕，而这里也是波兰的煤矿重镇。今年2019年联合国气候变化大会 COP25 将会在12月2号到13号在智利的圣地亚哥举行。我们继续来看教宗方济各公开接见群众的新闻，他提到了宗徒们首次到各地传扬福音，并没有制定什么推销的策略，也就是大家说的 SOP。而教宗说，当时这些宗徒去进行福传，反而招致迫害。所以教宗鼓励大家，基督徒必须接受自己要走艰难的路。
This morning, Pope Francis continued to reflect on the scenes in the book of the Acts of the Apostles. He recalled that the first evangelization was not a marketing strategy created by the apostles, but rather an effect of persecution. The Pope announced that Christians must accept that their paths will be difficult.
Nel libro degli Atti, la persecuzione appare come lo stato permanente della vita dei discepoli. In accordo con quanto detto da Gesù, se hanno perseguitato me, perseguiteranno anche voi.
The Pope also explained how evangelization should be done. He said that people must keep in mind that the Holy Spirit is the leader.
Padre, io vado a evangelizzare, sì, cosa fai? io annuncio il Vangelo e dico chi è Gesù e cerco di convincere la gente che Gesù è Dio. Caro, questo non è evangelizzazione. Se non c'è lo Spirito Santo non c'è evangelizzazione. Questo può essere proselitismo, può essere pubblicità, ma l'evangelizzazione è farti lasciare dallo Spirito Santo.
Pope Francis also said that it is not enough to know the scriptures to find God. It is necessary to have a personal encounter with Jesus.
我们再来看一项艰难的科学研究，这是根据《自然》杂志的报道，日本当局最近批准了一项新基因研究，容许在动物体内培育与人体相容的器官。但是有神经系统的伦理专家表示，这个实验当中的人类细胞有可能定植动物神经元结构。如果任由细胞繁殖，有可能会与动物神经系统连结，并且出现科学怪人的情况，无法预计也可能会产生什么样的影响。
According to the Nature magazine, Japan has authorized a new line of genetic research so animals can develop organs compatible with the human body. This will reduce the fatal search for donors. In order to do this, an embryo of an animal would have to be modified so it cannot develop a specific organ, such as a pancreas. By introducing a particular type of human cell into an embryo, the animal's organism will be used to produce a human pancreas. It can then be transplanted into a person in the future. However, before any experimentation, there would have to be no ethical drawbacks.
Bisogna chiarire che cosa quindi sono cellule.
The human cells used in this experiment are not embryonic, nor is there any thought of using them to transplant organs such as the brain. This is because these organs are closely linked to our identity. If this could be done, it would be morally unacceptable because the brain is closely related to our identity.
Gli organi che si vengono a produrre.
The organs that will be produced are, so to speak, functional organs. This means organs that perform mechanical functions, such as the heart, the liver, the pancreas. However, the experiment presents two other dangers. On the one hand, it is important to ensure animal viruses do not spread to the human being when transplanted, and secondly, to avoid human cells introduced to the animal's embryo do not change its neuron structure.
Poi vengono ventilati i rischi.
There are risks linked to the fact that human cells colonize the neuron structures of the animal. In this case, if allowed to grow, it is feared they will establish relationships with the nervous system. There we find Frankenstein scenarios, where we do not know what could happen to the cognitive functions of the animal.
L'obiettivo che viene perseguito attraverso.
The aim of this experiment has already been done in the past with transgenic animals. They are animals treated with the human genes, so their organs develop without the unhygienic characteristics of animals. These will be rejected by the human body when doing the transplant. In fact, these experiments have not been carried out yet because there remains the doubt that this animal organ, even if it has been humanized, transmits virus to man. The producing animal organs that are compatible with humans is an aim science has been working on for decades. What has been approved in Japan will be a new path full of ethical and professional challenges for modern medicine.
教宗方济各最近接见了一群各界的专家，他们都是来参加梵蒂冈的会议，在他们当中也有诺贝尔和平奖的得主。而在谈到科技的进步与发展同时，教宗方济各他提到了，如果人类所谓的科技进步成为大众公益的敌人，将造成可悲的倒退。他还列举了科技带来的好处和坏处。他说，科技让正确资讯流通，却也同时让假新闻流窜，那荼毒了公众讨论。
Pope Francis delivered a deep reflection on the meaning of technological progress before a very qualified audience. Attendees were participants in a seminar organized by the Vatican. There were executives from companies like Facebook, Mozilla, representatives from NATO, and even a Nobel Peace Prize winner. The Pope said the world is facing new challenges that require creativity, but without losing some basic principles.
Se i progressi tecnologici fossero causa di disuguaglianze sempre più marcate, non potremmo considerarli progressi veri e propri. Il cosiddetto progresso tecnologico dell'umanità, se diventasse un nemico del bene comune, condurrebbe a una infelice regressione a una forma di barbarie dettata dalla legge del più forte.
The Pope gave examples of advantages and disadvantages of technological progress. He said, on one hand, advances give access to positive information. But at the same time, he regretted the dissemination of fake news that, according to the Pope, poisons public debates.
感谢您收看光启社在 YouTube 影音平台为您直播的 Romereports 罗马主场。在节目的最后，带您一起来欣赏上个星期在光启社举行的利玛窦首映会，由内湖天主堂圣咏团他们所演唱的 Ave Maria。我是光启社的社长马绍阿基，我们下周再会，祝福大家平安喜乐。